qualify for the Asia Basket Championships in August in Indonesia. Japan coming off a narrow loss, which sees them sit with a 1-1 record. Narrow loss to China. Top two teams will qualify directly into the finals in Indonesia. The third teams will go into an additional qualification group just ahead of the championship round.
From the Angeles University Foundation Gym in Pampanga, the Philippines.
The Pampanga in the Philippines, a beautiful part of the world, welcomes these teams in obviously still in the difficult circumstances of the pandemic.
Players first for Chinese Taipei.
And Chinese Taipei, who are coming off a huge loss to China, where they literally could not contain the strength of the Chinese national team.
Number 8, Jonah Morrison. Number 9, Wu Xiaojin. Number 10, Xie Yashuan. Number 12, Lin Zhenhong. Number 13,
Xiaowan Xie. Number 10 had a marvelous game though. He's one of those few players now that skip between 3-on-3 and 5-on-5 game. Had 25 points, 9 from 11, 7 from 9 from the three-point line in that big loss against China. But their issue is stopping people scoring, and in particular, just containing people on the glass. China shot very, very, very impressive. 57% from the field, and took 85 shots compared to 65 of Chinese Taipei. So the problem's there, they just dominated on the glass. Japan, on the other hand, against China, struggled early. They dug a 22-point hole, which they recovered from, and in the end, it was just a 9-point game.
Number 24, Daiki Tanaka. Number 32, Abby Schaefer. And number 88,
Coach Julio Lamas, the Argentinian professor of basketball,
is Julio Lamas.
Still looking for Olympic lineups. We'll talk more after the national anthems, starting with Chinese Taipei.
And now the national anthem of Japan.
Well, obviously no fans, but there's still the emotion of national team basketball with the national anthems. Here are the three officials, Mr. Garcia, Ms. Pascual, and Mr. Marfan from the Philippines. First two and Indonesia, respectively, who take charge of this Asia Cup qualifier.
Garcia from the Philippines. Alternate official is Ricor Guaron from the Philippines. Technical delegate from the Philippines, Mr. Andrew Teh. And our game director.
So Chinese Taipei, who have their history in the Asia Cup. They had a marvelous time in 2013 and made the semifinals. Big win over China in that, but this team is a rebuilding team. Eight, 9, 10 of the guys here under 25 years old, and as this team tries to rebuild, tries to make that step, it's tough. It's you're playing against in this instance, the 42 ranked team in the FIBA rankings. You're coming off a huge loss. You're trying to get ready to make an Asia Cup, and the likelihood is they'll qualify for the additional qualification through the third place position. But here's the starting lineup. And with Wu, Chia Chen Wu at the guard spot, the ability to control the ball and cut the turnovers down. The turnovers were a real issue. 24 turnovers in the loss to China. That and the offensive rebounding. And the issue for their rebounding scenario is across these Asia Cup qualifiers, in the previous games, their biggest rebounders are not here. So there's young guys coming in who've got a massive opportunity for Coach Parker. But they've got to get it done on the glass, and there's no point trying to compete physically. You've got to fundamentally box out. You've got to keep guys off the glass, and it gives them a chance to run and spread the floor. And if they spread the floor and shoot the ball, this team can upset teams. The issue for Japan, again, only 5 players played in the FIBA World Cup in China. Obviously, no Hachimura and Watanabe. They will obviously be added to the roster come Tokyo Olympics. Interesting to see how Gavin Edwards does, the B-League All-Star from 2019, the UConn graduate. But since 2020 has really spent his time in China, really in Japan, really established himself as a major player in the B-League. Had 17 points, 6 rebounds against China. And he is a factor that on the glass is going to be a real issue for Chinese Taipei. Joji Takuchi on the bench, the Alvar Tokyo B-League star, one of the 5 World Cup players on this roster, alongside Hajima, Shinayama, Takeuchi, and Tanaka. And I think Julio Lamas is starting to formulate the roster he wants to put on the floor when it comes to the huge opportunity for Japanese basketball in the Olympic Games. Every country gets a huge lift from hosting an Olympic Games. Julio Lamas just gets the thumbs up as the head coach to remove the face mask. And with the limited time national teams get to play together, it's going to be interesting to see how Japan have progressed and improved as a unit since that loss against China. The start was really poor. They really struggled to get into any offensive rhythm. But they should be a game better, and that's what Coach Lamas will want to see. When they get the right tempo, this Japanese national team is always fun to watch. The ball movement, the tempo offensively, whether it's in the half court or the fast break, just fun. So welcome to the Philippines. Wherever you're joining us from in the world, Japan win the tip in the red uniform, and we'll get a first look at it in the half court. Tanaka gets Japan. They'll move off the ball, a lot of back screen and pop. Nice execution on the inside. Little finger roll, little jump hook off the glass, and Gavin Edwards starts the game. Unfortunately, how this Chinese Taipei team would fought with fear, he would. 2-3 zone. Japan trying to keep everything in front of them. Turnover. Got to execute 2-on-1. We'll skip down. They turn down the easy 2. And another and 1. Gavin Edwards with a strong play and just bullet his way to the hoop. The Japanese Pro League grows every single year in its quality, its commercial scope. Everything gets better in that league. And Gavin Edwards, 2019 B-League All-Star. Shows you why Lamas has added him to the roster. 2-3 zone again. And another turnover for Chinese Taipei. They've just got to settle into what they want to run. It's that they've got no rhythm offensively, completely thrown by this 2-3 zone, it appears. And that's not a good sign. Jima, they'll go down low. Edwards can't control the basketball, but it will stay with Japan as the ball's deflected out of bounds by Wu. Out of bounds. Edwards is getting a lot of touches. Blows the 2-footer. Wu. A lot of dribble. And a little bit too much contact as Tanaka picks up the personal. It's a really stretched zone, and partly because Chinese Taipei send no one to the block. The 2-3 zone really does extend. They go man-to-man on the sideline. So Lamas, as you'd expect, varying up his options. Penetration, poor decision as the help came. And Xianxiang Lu really just stopped and popped in the space between the three-point line and the keyway before the help got involved. They go long out of bounds. Gonna have to put this up. They just get it away on the buzzer. Is long. Defensive rebound collected. Schaffer gets his first positive stat. Well, the inside, outside. The long 2 off balance is good, though. Edwards kicked it to the wing. And Kanamura, even though he got bumped, that's much better. Chinese Taipei stretch it, then attack a space, pull up, no good. And they're still pointless. 7:45 to go in quarter 1. Edwards has it. Extended block. Nice pass. Easy 2 for Schaffer underneath the basket, but the weak side defense just got fixed on the ball. Wu. He's got to get in that gap between the that front of the zone. Step back, corner 3 is no good. Chance to run again. Edwards is just accumulating positive numbers. Picks and pops, just about hangs on. Nice reversal, wide open 3 is good. And Japan with a 12-0 start in 3 minutes. Well, we asked the question, would they look better? Well, they look totally out-one with each other at the moment. Great start by the Japan national team. And in particular, Gavin Edwards has had a field day. 2 assists to go with the points. Already has 5 points, 3 assists, and a rebound. And the UConn graduate is getting it done and impressing Coach Lamas. Timeout, Chinese Taipei.
传球用力啊，我们都发生这个小的错误啊，小的失误。我们可以用，如果都小的，可以用意识去做发动。哦 ，OK， 来，加油！
前方很快啊，
不小心点到篮板球出来，没关系，不小心点到篮板球出来，还是照着那个打。好，屏风别忘。加油！
Our coach, Charles Parker, been with this program for a number of years. What they're particularly good at is moving the basketball. If they move the basketball, stretch the defense, get in the gaps against this zone, they'll create the open opportunity to shoot the basketball. They're not going to get a lot of joy on post-ups. But if they can move the ball and create gaps within that zone, they should be able to penetrate, kick to the open shot. Then they'll start to get some rhythm. And then everything becomes a much better place to be. 7 to go in quarter one. An express start by Japan. They lead this 12-0. This is better. Chinese Taipei will stretch and move and cut. Tempo is good. They've got to work for each other, though. It's a little bit standstill and watch the ball at the moment. Deep on the shot clock. Penetration, middle handle. They're going to have to put up the prayer from the long two. Hits nothing. Japan have a chance to run. That's a great defensive series by Japan coming out of the timeout. Edwards will look to hand it off. Hijima breaks to the space. Nice find. Great rotation defensively, though. Super work. Lee was, the closeout was great. He stayed high, forced the ball to go over him, got the deflection. 7.3 seconds on the sideline. Japan have to find something. Hijima, the right man at the right time with the basketball. Attacks it, gets the right hand layup to drop. And the 30-year-old from the champion B-League club, Makoto Hijima, gets the two. The long two from the corner gets no love off the ring. But Chinese Taipei hunt it down and should get the easy two. Suan Shea, with his 25 points from the previous game, gets the first 2 points for Taipei. Hijima on the dribble, nice pass, and one. Gavin Edwards picks up another two off the Hijima pass. Well, it would have been an assist if he hadn't bounced it, but I don't think Makoto Hijima will have any issues at all. Edwards at 17.6 rebounds against China. Can't complete the three-point play. Chen and Morrison combine in the backcourt. They get inside the zone on this point, in traffic. To skip it to the open man. Wide open three from the corner is no good. Defensive rebound belongs to Vendrama. Vendrama gets the defensive rebound. This is when the layup's there. Got to finish that play. But then you're 1 on 3 on 4 on the glass. You can see how he gets hit in the face. That's always painful across that nose and across the bridge of the eyes. So he's going to rotate out. He's going to be replaced by Aki Chambers. Edwards, out one, nice strong move. Protected the ball, kisses it off the glass for two, and it's an 18-2 start for Japan. Goes with the left hand in traffic, uses his body to draw the contact. Will go to the free throw line for the three-point play. Well, Japan, even though they've started in the 2-3 zone, are aggressive to say the least on the perimeter. They do not want to give this Chinese Taipei lineup the opportunity to get any sort of rhythm going. Eddie Gaga. Nice move to the hoop for two. Jonah Morrison, still only 21 years old, just took it strong to the hoop. Nice finish in traffic. Edwards recovers it. Stop and pop for the long two is no good. Offensive rebound pulled in by Avi Koki Schaffer. Nice pass, but the mishandle. And Gavin Edwards really putting on a clinic in the early part of this game. Here's the replay of the penetration as Jonah Morrison just took it strong with the left hand. I think we're going to get a travel on the play. Young Han Lin. Takeuchi steps in. He's 36 now. Eight of this Japanese lineup are the mature side of 30. Gonna go inside, outside. And wow, Jonah Morrison, a quick 5 points, just steps in. Mobile 2 meters 3. Gets to the hoop for the first two, then strokes the three. Shows you the repertoire. And we've got a whistle on the play. Morrison picks up the personal. But you won't worry about that from Coach Parker's perspective, because that's the first time in the game that Edwards has had to work to get the post up. So both ends of the floor, Morrison having an impact off the bench. He'll sit. Suji picks up the three-pointer. Big scoring first quarter for Japan, 21-7 with just under 3 to go. Gadiaga off the glass for 2. It's a shame they've had to sit Morrison down. Morrison and Gadiaga were given a little bit more offensive punch than they've had so far. Edwards steps outside, looks inside on the pass. Nice feed. Takeuchi with the finish. Whistle on the play as Q goes to the glass and picks up and draws the foul. Mawei Chai-Hugh. Another 21-year-old. The future is obviously bright for Chinese Taipei basketball, because this group could really grow as a group. The range of players between 21 and 25. The whole team, with the exception of Yen Huang Lin and Cha Chiang Wu, find themselves in that age bracket. Edwards again out top, will hand it off. Wow, the pretty little finger roll down the lane. Rendrama gets the 2. Nice penetration and kick. A little bit more pace now to Chinese Taipei's offense. And subsequently, little penetration is good, and Wu picks up another 2. One of the two 27-year-olds on the team. And it's back to an 11-point game, so Chinese Taipei settling into this a little bit more now. If they could get this to single digits, they'd feel they were back in it. And Rami penetrates and kicks. They really are extending Edwards. You know, he'll dive, but he's such a good pass for the ball. They can't get the 3 to drop. Great effort on the glass. The ball will stay with Japan. Joshi Takeuchi got inside position, but just couldn't gather it in. More rotations off the bench. Gavin Edwards sits. That's a really impressive 9 minutes of basketball by Edwards. Takeuchi. Great timing off the down screen. Chinese Taipei as a team can't collect it. And everything about Chinese Taipei for the last 2-3 minutes is just a step quicker. Passing lanes, looking to run the break, the tempo offensively so much better. Xiang Lu, Chan Xiang Lu steps back in. Plays in China. Well, they recovered. It was going to be, it would have been a horrendous, easy 2 to give up on the little back cut. As Aki Chambers saw the opportunity, pass didn't get there quick enough. Chance to make this a single-digit game for Chinese Taipei. Ku will stay with Chinese Taipei. 9.5 seconds remain on the possession. Both teams in the penalty. Well, it's a good response by Chinese Taipei to that 12-0 start. Pretty much played the last 6 minutes of this first quarter even. Q penetrates, kicks. The extra pass for the 3 is no good. They get alive on the offensive glass. That's a great sign. Just so much more activity. Long 2 from the corner is no good. Defensive rebound belongs to Takeuchi. And with around a 2-second differential between possession and game clock, Japan will hold for the last shot. They're going to go ball screen. Great defensive effort, plenty of time. To the hoop for 2 is good. Xiaojin Wu gets the 2 that takes it into a 25-16 game at the end of 1. And after that horrible start, Chinese Taipei fighting back, trail this by 9 at the end of 1, 25-16. Well, there's the issue right away for Chinese Taipei. 82% from the 2-point range. Gavin Edwards in particular, whether it be on the assist or the scoring, has just dominated on the inside. Let's take a look at the best actions from the first quarter. And the quarter really belonged to Gavin Edwards. Edwards and Schaefer dominated on the inside. If he wasn't scoring, Gavin Edwards was picking up assists. But after the poor start, you've got to say Chinese Taipei showed a lot of character. And the injection of Gadiega and Jonah Morrison, although Morrison's time was limited, really did spark that little comeback by Chinese Taipei. That means they're down 9. If they, it's important they start well in this second quarter. Julio Lamas, one eye on the Asia Cup, one eye on the Olympic Games. Great time for Asia basketball. Yeah, it's not only do you have the Tokyo Olympic Games, but the 2023 World Cup, jointly hosted by the Philippines, Japan, and Indonesia. is going to be huge for the region. Obviously, basketball here in the Philippines is just the biggest. The league is great. The passion for the sport is tremendous. The fans are just as passionate as any fans in the world. And the impact the World Cup could have on basketball in Indonesia, huge. Japan building on what they hope will be a successful Olympic Games. So it's a great time to be playing this game in this region. Huge opportunity for Asia basketball. Start of the second quarter then. Han Seng Lee will inbound, and Chinese Taipei have it man-to-man by Japan. Straight, broken down straight away. Great offensive rebound, and the putback is good. Wu just crashed the glass hard. Tremendous offensive rebound, and it's only a 7-point game. Harimoto will give it up, and we're going to get the offensive foul on the moving screen. And again, you've got to recognize the fact the referees and FIBA around, they've got to try and clean up, and they've been cleaning up the ball screen. Obvious movement on the screen, and wherever you are in the world, you get consistency. And that's all players can ask for. Nice back cut, great recovery to get a piece of it, but Chinese Taipei come down with it. The mid-range two is no good, rattled in and out for Lee. And Japan need to remember their tempo, because when they get into the half court, which Chinese Taipei have forced them into, they do not look as effective. Tsuneyama turns down the ball screen, gives it up, and the wrong man with the wrong shot. Joji Takeuchi misses the three. Nice period here. Chen has it for Chinese Taipei. Life gets interesting. 7-point game with the basketball. Again, a lot more activity, a lot more movement. The three is gone and good. Coach Lamas has to take the timeout on the back of the Wu three. And what looked like a walk in the park has turned into a real game on. As Chinese Taipei cut this to a 4-point game on the back of the Wu three. And it's as we said in the first quarter, if they're active, if they move, if they cut, and move this Japanese defense around, yeah, they're going to be living and dying by the jump shot. But hey, that's what they've got. And at the moment, it's working really well. They trail 25-21, timeout Japan.
The main situation to do is stop the drive. After control the drive, use the hand. Start again with the idea. Another idea. They take the 50% of the rebound in our basket. Number 1, 2, and 3 of Japan. The responsibility of the rebound.
他在防守做后挡的时候，过来这边做挡人，这个人要沉在这边帮忙啊，都没有帮忙。加油！走！技巧，他一直顶开，不能上去。
So as you'd expect from Coach Lamas, cool, calm, collected, pointing out some facts of life in terms of the way his team is not controlling the basketball defensively. They're not actually forcing Chinese Taipei out of what they want to run. So interesting to see what we see now. Just about retain possession. There's no lift on the weak side, so they can't reverse the basketball. Shuzi has to make things happen himself. Tough drive, foul called, and Tsuneyama will go to the free throw line. When the ball comes out of one side, if you don't have that automatic opportunity to reverse it, Makes the penetration more difficult, and that's exactly what happened to Japan on that previous possession. And in the end, Tsuji and Shiniyama had to literally just take responsibility, put it on the floor and try and break it down on the dribble. Shiniyama gets to the basket, gets the foul, goes to the free throw line, and makes both. 32 now, Shiniyama, with the Kawasaki Brave Thunder. I think it's his 4th year with that organization after 9 years, so successful years in the B League. Like a lot of these Japanese players, graduated university ahead of playing pro. Shiniyama is fouled in transition. Smart foul by Yu Zhao Chen. Chen's got to find a way to get himself going too. The number 13 for Chinese Taipei, leading scorer across the qualifiers so far, averaging 16.5 points, 6 rebounds a game, gets it done at both ends. But only 2 points so far tonight, or today. Penetration off the glass. The 2 is no good. A lot of traffic. Great work on the offensive glass by Koshuki Takeuchi. Takeuchi, another one of these 30-plus experienced players. This Lamas is going to go for a roster that's going to know its way around a basketball court come the Olympic Games. Open 3 out of bounds. Nice screen away, but poor shot. They just about recover on the glass. Shiniyama has it. Nice find. Open 3 off the kick is no good. Great work on the glass. Tremendous offensive rebound by Joji Takeuchi. Ball's knocked away though. Chinese Taipei, chance to run. They've got to keep the ball active. Nice cut to enable the ball reversal. Wu gets into lane, has it knocked away. Japan had the chance to go the other way. Nice trowel. Foul on the play. That's before the shot. Joji Takeuchi. It's a veteran roster. It's like no bones about it. This is a veteran roster for Japan. They're going to have dips. They won't get phased by those dips in games as Chinese Taipei pick up their full team foul. There's still 7 minutes to play in the half. That's not a number you want to see if you're a Chinese Taipei fan. Nice kick. Takeuchi puts it on the floor, goes strong with the right hand off the glass, can't get it to drop. Ball falls into the hands of Gediaga. Again, the tempo's good down the floor. Need a pass, nice lift on the weak side. First catch and go, and they blow the layup. Great follow. Liu gets the 2. Tremendous catch and go by Wu. We're back to a 4-point game. If you were thinking this was going to be a walk in the park for Japan, think again. Short 2 is no good. Again, tempo is so important. Gediaga has it, attacks it, goes with the right hand, blows the layup. A little too false that time. Japan pushing the other way, gets to the ring for 2 is no good and blows it, but they keep it alive on the offensive glass. Tsuji puts it on the floor and kicks. The open 3. Takeuchi fills it up, and Joji Takeuchi settles the nerves with the nice looking 3 off the penetration. Do they answer with 3? Yes, they do. And why wouldn't? Liu, who's really feeling it, answer with the 3 halfway through this second quarter. Well, it's turning into a shootout at the moment. Shiniyama knocks down the 3 off the dribble, finds a little hole underneath the screen and fills it up. Here's the replay of the answer from the 3-point line. Going to back it out. You don't guard me, I'm going to shoot it. And Zhang Xiang Lu knocks down the three. Chinese Taipei have got to remember how they got back in. They're starting at the defensive end. They've got to remember that.
They're getting way too many offensive rebounds. That's how I think about half of their scoring coming offensive rebounds. I need all five. Guard, big, you guys got to crash the board.
Charles Parker makes the point. It's got to be at the defensive end. They've got to keep them off the glass. And there's been too many unopposed offensive rebounds where they haven't put a body on anybody. They haven't really physically contested. And they can't rely on their size or their athleticism. They've got to box first and then just compete. If they got to that point, they have a real shot at this. Yeah, the 67th ranked team on the against the 42nd ranked team in the FIBA rankings is an upset in anybody's language. And Chinese Taipei have given themselves a shot at that. They trail 7 at the moment. Good timeout by Coach Parker before this gets back to double digits. The bad news is for Chinese Taipei, Gavin Edwards comes back in the game. If he continues where he left off, times are hard. 5:18 to go in the half, 7-point margin. Chinese Taipei still in it. Crucial moments though, they've got to get into the half in the game. They can't let this eke out to a comfortable double-digit advantage. Wu puts it on the floor. Morrison off the bench is short with the three, but they chase down the offensive rebound but can't collect. Better defensive transition by Chinese Taipei. Edwards comes high. He's in that high post area where he's always available. Picks and pops, now he'll dive. Turnover though. Better rotation defensively. We've got a mid-call foul. Be interesting if they call this unsportsmanlike, which I think they have to. Yeah. Good opportunity here for Chinese Taipei. Score from the free throw line with possession of the ball. Jiachang Wu makes the first. Chance to cut this to a 2-point game with a three with the possession if he makes the second, which he does. Always stretches the maths. 33 to 28. But I don't think anyone in world basketball would contest. Is that an unsportsmanlike? Morrison. Nice pass. Great little layup for 2. And we got a 3-point game. And Japan, I think actually Coach Lamas will be happy they're being tested. He won't be happy with how they're responding. Foul on the play. Makoto Hiyajima. That's a great pass by Morrison. Just led Wu to the hoop. He only had to catch. He had no option. Just catch it, lay it up. Just the pass was quality. Lamas takes the timeout for Japan.
No more pressure. No more pressure. Okay? Nobody. No more pressure. Only stop the drive. Okay? Only stop the drive. Okay, guys. We will see 10 drives in the first half. We can try to stop the drive. It's not we are a sheet. Because we see tries and tries and tries, and everybody's looking. Nobody's angry, nobody give different. No more press, no press more the ball. Nobody. But stop the drive.
Wow, the message. Very, very clear from Coach Lamas. Got to prevent the drive, got to protect the basket, yep. But also offensively wants no more fast break, wants to move the basketball in the half court. as we've said before, there's two objectives here for Japan. One, obviously, is qualification for a crucial, massive Asia Cup in August. But they're only days away from the Tokyo Olympic Games. And 2 for 2 from the line. Hijima makes both. Wu has it. Hit the back screen and Morrison again involved. Morrison comes high, looks to hand it off. Shea. Nice pass again, the movement's good. Whistle on the play. I think the ball will go back to Chinese Taipei. No, I think that's comes off the knee of Chan Xianglu as Chinese Taipei make changes. Xishuan Xu steps out. Halimoto checks in. Open three off the screen is good. Nothing but string by Hijima. Great pick by Edwards. Execution was excellent. 8-point game. Every trip's a big chip for Chinese Taipei here. Down 8, they were down 3. Need to cut that margin. Much more intensity defensively now. Morrison mishandles, they recover. 5 on the possession. Kick to the corners open, they take the tough one. From the corner is deep, but buried from the corner. Wow, great composure. Super release on the 3. And they tick it over again. They've got to keep ticking it over. Down 5. Wow. Wow, off the bench, back into the game. Kota Hijima, back-to-back threes. You're not part of a championship winning roster for no reason. Morrison has it outside the 3-point line, moves it on. Nice tempo to the game right now. Again, attack the closeout, in traffic and kick, the extra pass. Wide open for 3 from the corner is short. And the ball will go to Japan. Chinese Taipei, really different level from how they started the game. Super performance by them. Yashuan Shea with the missed 3 from before. That made 3 from Wu. Ticked it over. And China getting, Japan getting the workout by Chinese Taipei right now. 41-38. Oh! Gavin Edwards puts an exclamation mark under that, this little run that Japan have, opens it back out to a 10-point game. He has 11 personal, 5 from 6 from the floor. Morrison, foul line jump shot is no good, in and out. And the last 2 minutes of this first half are going to be key for Chinese Taipei. Down 10. Nice little crossover, mishandle. Will not please Coach Lamas, foul on the plate. It won't please Coach Lamas because there's no reason for Avi Kokishafa to handle it, as we see Edwards above the ring and throwing it down. Nice little alley-oop. And Edwards has been impressive. Understatement. Impressive doesn't do his performance justice. 43-33, 150 to go in the first half. Chinese Taipei, Ku moves it on. Got to keep the ball moving. Trying to shift that Japanese defense. Morrison has it, going to work here in the mid-block. It's a little lean away for 2. Off the glass is no good. Edwards just accumulates stats. Shiniyama, Edwards lines up the 3 and knocks it down. Inside, outside, assists on the glass. Gavin Edwards is having a field day out here. 46-33. Just over a minute to go in the second quarter. Q out top, can't slow down. It's important for Chinese Taipei not to slow down. We've got a holding foul off ball. They can't get disappointed, Chinese Taipei. They've taken reasonable shots against a much improved Japanese defense. They can't lose the tempo. The tempo was impressive in that little run that got them back to 2. 14-second reset. Got to keep it moving. Once the ball sticks, the Japanese defense are in control, and the foul on the three-pointer will send Hang Sheng Li to the free throw line. Just needs to tick it over. They can get it back to single digits at the half. They're right back in it. Two from 2 from the line. A stop and a score to end this first half would be the perfect end for Chinese Taipei. Chance to make this a 10-point game with the last of the 3 throws, which he does. Steadies the ship a little bit. Coach Lamas wants his Japanese team to move the basketball in the half court, get action away from the basketball. Step back, mid-range 2 is no good. Ball's hunted down, chance to run. Whistle on the play, called on the floor, but Japan are in the penalty, so Chinese Taipei will go to the free throw line. It just underlines the point that if they keep the tempo high, they can play. If they want to slow it down, Japan just control them defensively and get a chance to get advantage going the other way. So just checking that we're shooting free throws, which I think we are. Not really sure what the debate is. Maui Chaku on the free throw line. Just keep ticking it over. Keep ticking it over. Absorb the run that Japan have just put on you, and you're back to single digits. Then you're feeling good. You're right in it. And that's where Chinese Taipei are right now. 2 for 2 from the line. Back to a 8-point game. Substitution coming in for Chinese Taipei as Xiaojin Wu checks back in. Sinayama moves it on. The open 3 off the down screen is good. Great execution. And Suji knocks down the 3. Lee. They'll try and hold for the last shot of this first half. There's about a second differential between possession and game clock. Nice pass. Oh, what a block. Kushi Takeuchi came from the weak side. Japan trying to end the quarter on the 3, and they do. Makoto Hiyajima shows his experience, shows his quality, and finishes the half. They turn the defense into the block, from the block to the 3. And Hiyajima's going to bring it down the floor and do this. And he knows from the minute he lets go, he's going to get some sweet string music, I think is the phrase. And Japan, after the super start at the beginning of the game, absorbed the comeback by Chinese Taipei and finished the half with the 14-point lead, 52-38. And if you remember where we were early in the game, they were a 12-0 start. And that's really was the foundation for that 14-point advantage. Stats-wise, they're still shooting 60% from 2 and 64% from 3. They just lit it up. And you got to, again, just acknowledge Coach Lamas saw his issue. He's 2 points up. Stops the run and gun, if you want, in terms of no action. Transition was better. Edwards and Hiejima were just quality. Makoto Hiejima and Gavin Edwards just led this team in all stats lines. Just a tremendous performance by them. So I'm going to get a look at some highlights of that first half in a moment. And the story, though, great start. Largely around Edwards. To be fair, Gavin Edwards was the focal point, whether it's on the pass or on the score. He really did get all the touches he needed. And it was just a perfect start by Japan. But Chinese Taipei in nothing but just stayed with it. Coach Parker took the timeout, steadied the ship a little bit, made it and reminded them what they were good at. And they got themselves back into it, trailed by 2 deep in the second quarter. And it took Coach Lamas to take the timeout and talk about quality as much as anything else and pride in their defense. And great response from the roster. But when you've got quality like Makoto Hiejima, Gavin Edwards on the floor, and the experience of Yoshi Takeuchi, you've got the weapons in the locker to respond to the challenge, and that's exactly what they did. Takeuchi with that 3 steadied the ship. That was one of the times that Chinese Taipei had cut it to a 2-point game. The dilemma for Chinese Taipei is the dilemma they have in any FIBA Asia Cup game or any world level game when they're playing against that higher ranked team. They've got to do a better job on the glass. And they've just got to keep backing themselves. Offensively, they've got to keep moving. And the ball cannot stick. But Hiejima was just exceptional when his team was challenged in that second quarter. So Japan, at the end of the first half, have established a 14-point lead. And again, they look what they are, an exceptional basketball team. Well, just to round off the analysis of this first half, let's look at the 2 leading scorers for Chinese Taipei. Mao Wei Chai, Q with 8 points. 2 from 2 from the field, 3 from 3 from the line. Perfect offensively. Took it to the hoop really nicely. Protected the ball well in traffic. And was one of the factors in that comeback by Chinese Taipei. Well, this guy, Gavin Edwards, he's 33 years old now, but playing with the enthusiasm of a young gun. He's strong going to the hoop. Had 4 assists in that first half too. And at times can show you how he strokes the 3 as well. Finishes fundamentally really sound. Put it on the floor, shot it off the pass, posted up. In fact, there's not a lot he didn't do, including a throw down on the alley-oop. Super performance by Edwards, led this Japanese team. Leaves them up 14 at the half. We'll take a break right now, and we'll see you for the second half shortly.
Good contact, goes up, no foul called, and now Korea here can push. Well, we got Ragana transition. Ragana, oh baby! Ragana with the throwdown. Showtime, Korean basketball. Ragana, throw it down, big fella. And now, Lee Dae-sung in transition. Behind the back pass, oh, you gotta love it. Showtime, Korean basketball. Well, look at this. This is Magic Johnson in the Korean jersey. And then you have Lee Sung-hyun with a finish. Vintage Korean fast break basketball. They have to get back on defense because China behind the back pass. Oh, baby! Vintage Chinese Showtime basketball. You gotta love it. The leg gets rejected. Wow. Lee Hyun-jung said, not in my house. And now Korea transition one more time. Oh, he got it. That is just beautiful basketball. I mean, look at this. Lee Hyun-jung with the block. Not in my house. Makes a great defensive play. But down the other end, Gamsam Hamnida nails a three-pointer. Oh, baby. Mid-range shots up, still good. Oh, my Lord. Are you serious? Mohamed Gadiaga is putting on a show right now. For Woda Mingzer Shi Gadiaga. Gaoxing Rensheni, nice to meet you with the throwdown time.
Welcome back to Philippines. You're inside the Foundation Gym, Girls University in Pampanga. Chinese Taipei back out on the floor. Have made some adjustments and really have tightened up in a couple of key areas from their game the other day when they were literally run all over by China. Yeah, done a better job on the glass. And turnover-wise, they've only committed 6 turnovers to Japan's 9. So they've limited Japan to only 3 second chance points. But in saying that, percentage-wise, Japan have shot 64% from the three-point line. So there's not many opportunities to get rebounds as such if you're shooting 64% from 3 and 58%, 59% from 2. It doesn't take a maths professor to work that one out. But game leaders for Japan, Edwards has 14 points and 4 assists, and he really has been exceptional. Takuchi has 3 rebounds. And a 14-0 start at the beginning of the game really just dominated proceedings for the Japanese team. They scored the first points of the game and have led it for 19 minutes 43 seconds to be precise. Both teams have got great production off the bench, 20 and 18 points respectively off the bench. Chinese Taipei, to be fair to them, have done a really nice job getting to the hoop. 18 of their 38 points have been in the paint, and that's not post-ups, that's penetrations. So they've done a really nice job getting back into contention. 5 from 6 and 6 from 7 overall for Gavin Edwards. One of those was the open 3. What an incentive for these Japanese players, though. A place on an Olympic roster is only days away now. I mean, it's as we said, pre-game 5 of this Japanese roster played in the World Cup in China. So it's there's obvious superstars to come in and join the roster. So this Japanese team will have aspirations in terms of their home Olympics. Get to the second round and you're in a decent spot. Chinese Taipei, well, it looks like in this group they should finish third. Let's put the thing in perspective. If they finish third, they'll be in that little additional qualification group ahead of the Asia Cup final round in Indonesia. And with the way they play, they're an upset team waiting to happen. They're going to beat some teams that they would go into the game as underdog, as they have done today. It really needed the quality of Makoto Hiyajima and Gavin Edwards to really steady the Japanese ship in that second quarter. So any team shooting 40+% from the three-point line, as they have done, has a chance to upset someone. And Chinese Taipei in the past have been semi-finalists, and they've done really competitive stuff at the Asia Cup, the Asia Championships as it was called. So they're not the team you want to play if you have an off night, because they can score. They're obviously, their shortcomings and their issues are obvious. Their lack of size is a real problem for them. But Coach Parker did a really nice job in that first half, staying with what they have to do to get back in it. And did a really nice job cutting the game to a 2-point game. A lot of basketball going on across the world at the moment. Catching on live basketball TV. Women's regional championships in the Americas, in Europe. So there's a lot of quality. And there's a lot of quality on this Japanese roster. And you know Coach Lamas is going to want to see that in that second half. Important start for Chinese Taipei in this third quarter. If they can get it back to single digits and stay competitive, then they're right in it. If they get run over in the start of this second half the way they did at the start of the game, then it's a long, long second half ahead. Got to try and control Edwards. And it's not enough to say keep him out the keyway, because I think his passing ability has been a factor here. So I think you've got to play him harder off the ball. And then back yourself offensively. So crucial start to the third quarter ahead. Chinese Taipei trying to get back in this. Trail 52-38, Japan with the basketball. Hijima moves it on. Edwards gets touches down low, looks to work to the middle, fills the double team, has to kick it out. Great rotation coming out the double team. Nice attack to the ring, no good, but the offensive rebound is put in. Penetration by Tanaka should have resulted in the two, but Schaffer gets the two. Gets another rebound at the defensive end, but turns it over on the outlet. Quick release on the three is no good, as Garriega tried to turn the steal into points. It's too easy a catch for Edwards. Wherever he is on the floor, he's just getting too easy a catch. Nice wrap on the pass. The three is good. Taki Takanaka lifts on the weak side as the defense gets dragged down by the Edwards dive to the hoop and knocks down the three. Gonna recover that one. Wu. Getting deep on the shot clock now. Turns it over. This is a little bit deja vu. And they dodge a bullet, but Schaffer keeps it alive. And what was a 14-point lead is quickly growing. Edwards skips to the middle and gets fouled. Will go to the free throw line to make this a 20-point game, and we're only a minute and a half into the third. And that's why the start was important. If you play even, or even reduce the margin, you're right in it. If you get done by a 6 to 8 point run, which is what's happening right now, you end up down 20, and that is a mountain mentally to climb. Japan lead this 58-38 with 8:23 to go in the third, and Edwards on the free throw line is going to make this a 21-point game. And it forces Coach Parker to take the timeout early. And what they'd have talked about in the locker room, he's going to have to talk about again right now. It was a 14-0 start. It's now a 9-7-0 start to the start of the third, but that makes this a 21-point game and a mountain to climb for Chinese Taipei. So important now, get the tempo, get the ball moving, score on this possession, and then you're positive after the timeout. Garriega has it outside the three-point line. The ball's stuck. It's the worst thing that Chinese Taipei can have happen. They take the tough three from the corner, is no good. And Garriega, once the ball's stuck with him, Japan were in control of it. Great transition going the other way. Makoto Hijima picks the two up on the pull-up short jumper. Japan really tight in the screw defensively, but finally the ball keeps moving. And Liu gets to the ring again. Stops and scores now for Chinese Taipei. Schaffer will reverse the basketball. Edwards extends at the high post, moves it on and screens. Little pick and pop action. Little push shot for two is no good. Defensive rebound gives Chinese Taipei the chance to run. Gadiega. Got to keep it moving now. Don't stick the basketball. Morrison will reverse it on the dribble. Great defensive effort. Great little curl up by Gadiega. Blows the layup. Go with the left hand. Don't go pretty. Oh, Schaffer misses the two. Edwards chases it down, and the ball will stay. We'll go back to Chinese Taipei. Frustration on the face of Gavin Edwards. Gadiega outside. It's a little bit passive. That's better movement. Catch the pass. Gadiega sets his feet for three. Is short. And Japan again have a chance to move in transition. Hijima gets to the foul line again. Will kick it wide open. Gavin Edwards for three is short. They dodged the bullet. And Schaffer can't control the offensive rebound. Ball goes back to Chinese Taipei. Lee in the half court. And Gadiega puts it on the floor, goes to the right hand scoop. Well, he'll claim, well, would have claimed the assist, but they blow the two-footer. And Japan will settle into the half court. Lamas will want the ball moved here. They don't want the ball on the floor in front of the defense. Here, Jima, the man who makes most things happen on the perimeter, will take the Edwards screen. Edwards dives, gets it down the lane, and one. Well, they went to the little two-man game with Hijima and Edwards, and it was almost an inevitable outcome. There's no rotation. Morrison gets drawn to the ball. The help is late. Edwards gets the easy two, goes to the free throw line. Well, Edwards is going to sit. He's replaced by Halimoto from the Nagoya Diamond Dolphins, averaging like 9 points a game across his time in this Asia Cup qualifiers. Turnover, ball's recovered. Dami has it. Schaffer on the dive, but he finally gets the pass for two. And Gadiega's put in that decision. Does he help or does he stay with the lifting shooter? Decided to do neither, which Schaffer gets the easy two. Gadiega puts it on the floor right hand, dumps it to the inside. The short two is no good. And Chinese Taipei, the tempo's gone completely from the offensive end. Ball's turned over. Gadiega has a chance to run here. 2-on-1 break. He takes a tough one. Gets to finish, though. Over the top of Avi Kokasafa. Feet set, wide open. Three is good. As Su just strokes it. Nice looking jumper. Penetration, better defensive effort. Lee recovers. Just over 3 to go in the third. Lamb with a tough one is no good. Offensive rebound, foul on the play. And again, Su, after making the three, goes to work on the offensive glass, gets fouled. Comes up short on the first of the free throws. Shea Hussan Su. One of the Bank of Taiwan players on this Chinese Taipei roster. Last 3 minutes of the third, crucial 3 minutes if Chinese Taipei are gonna get any hope of getting back into this. Again, the pass is just no way the pass should be possible. The help just gets on the wrong side of the diving player. 71-45, and Japan just scoring at will. Nice back pass. The little floater is no good for Shea. Scheffer inside, outside. The open three is good. Halimoto gets his feet set. To the corner, nice fire. And the open three, got to go, and does. Yasuan Shea gets the three. Sorry, Shu gets the three. Hey, Shea Huswan Shu. Schaefer outside the three, will move it on. Dami in the lane, penetrates the open three. They take the fly away on the closeout and knock down the three. And at the moment, it's like throwing it in the ocean. Can't miss it. Both teams just filling it up from deep. Lee outside. Much better performance by Chinese Taipei, though. You got to, Morrison can't get the three to go. Defensive rebound chance for Japan to run again, then they have numbers. And they space it to the open three is good. And as I say, it literally is. Kanemaru joins the party. Kanemaru joins the party and drops another three. 14 points personal, 4 from 5 from beyond the arc. And open shots are open shots. So if you don't guard this Japanese team, they can fill it up. Got to put it up deep on the shot clock. Morrison gets tied up, turns it over, chance to run for Japan. And they turn it over in transition. That would not impress Coach Lamas, but Chinese Taipei turn it over straight back. Last 30 seconds of the third quarter dominated, absolutely dominated by Japan. Out to a 32-point lead. Don't forget, it was a 14-point advantage at the half after being a 2-point game late in the second quarter. So they have just ripped this open. End of the half, beginning of the third. Coach Lamas pointed out the facts of life during that timeout deep in the second, and since then, Japan have been at a different level. He puts it inside. Chafford couldn't control the basketball. Harimoto recovers it. 10 on the possession. Chambers. Off the glass for 2, doesn't get it to drop. Schaffer's blocked. Still 10 seconds on the quarter. Still plenty of time for Japan to get something they want. Gonna have to put a tough one up there though. A tough 3 on the step back is no good. And that'll do it for the end of 3. A third quarter dominated by Japan. That's a 28-10 quarter, which gives us an 80-48 advantage for the Japan national team. And a 28-10 quarter and a 8-2 finish to the half. Sorry, a 10-2 finish to the half. Gives you a 38-12, 14-point period of play. Let's have a look at the best plays of that third quarter, and the best actions are all Japanese actions. Avi Schaffer was good at the start of the quarter, very active on the glass. Tanaka came to the three-point party. And there's no surprise that Makoto Hiyajima just continued where he left off at the end of that second quarter. Just a dominant 13, 14 minutes of play by Japan. They've just lifted the level. And Chinese Taipei have struggled. They would have had to have been perfect. The tempo would have had to have been their tempo. And when Edwards and Hiyajima are on the floor together, this Japanese team really does move sweetly, because then everyone's involved. Everyone gets touches. Everyone gets open looks. And they look a really, really productive team. As we've said, though, for this Chinese Taipei team, a lot of players between 21 and 25. It's a team that they're going to build over the next few years. And if this core of groups stay together, then that can make them a very, very productive team. Kanemaru with 14 points, 4 from 5 from the three-point line, 1 from 2. That's commonly described as a nice day at the office. Little flare, could have flared further. Doesn't get the 2 to go. Edwards just gets another stat line. $19 points, 4 boards, 4 assists for Gavin Edwards so far. Dama can't get it. Chambers comes up with a rebound. He penetrates and kicks. Chambers with the 3 is no good. Ball's hunted down. Chance to run here as Q has it. Gets it to the corner. Nice trowel. Numbers down the floor. Easy 2. Spacing was good coming down the floor in transition. Tempo of break was exceptional. Taipei cut it to 30. It's not so much about a result there. It's about where Chinese Taipei basketball's trying to get to, not where it is. And it's the signs are good for them. 3 in the corner is no good. Catches a lot of above the basket equipment, so ball goes over to Chinese Taipei. There's the first cut, second cut into the gap created. Nice finish over the big man. Avi Schaffer tries to get a piece, can't. Chinese Taipei with the basketball. Trying to space the floor. They're being forced to space the floor because the Japanese defense really extend. Morrison nowhere to go again. Oh, little pass. Oh, out of nothing. Morrison saves the day with the pass. Great cut to give him an option, but there was nothing doing at all for Chinese Taipei. Morrison finds a pass out of nothing, and they get the easy 2. Extra pass to the wing. They go inside. Edwards deep. Blows the jump hook. That's one of the few negatives he's got as a stat line. Q has it. Again, this Japanese defense forcing Chinese Taipei having to play 2 meters outside the three-point line because the Japanese defense extended. Morrison with the tough 2 because he had no other option. Can't get it to drop. Foul on the play as Chung Xiang Lu doesn't like the numbers. Let's have a look at the pass. There you go. Beautiful pass, nice cut. And Shea gets the 2. I'm sure you're going to see that pass again. Super vision by Morrison, super pass by, super cut rather by Shea. Edwards outside will take the ball screen and they'll dive. Nice pass, nice hand. Benama open 3, fills it up. Great decisions. Again, the movement of the ball by Japan when Edwards is involved is exceptional. Benami has 5 on 1 for 3 shooting. Open in the corner, wide open in the corner. Q for 3 is no good. Benama has a chance to run. They have numbers. 4 on 3 in transition. Just find the open man. Schaffer just gives it back. And Coach Lamas wants some execution in the half court. Gets it. Nice pass. Oh, and they blow the layup. Schaffer looks at the official. That's an M1 if you get fouled, not a look at the official. Nice penetration and kick. Chinese Taipei spread the floor again and move off it. The open 3 is good. Chambers penetrates, pops it. Schaffer with a 3 from the wing and joins the 3-point party. Had the invitation and responded to it with a very positive RSVP. Turnover, chance to run it again, although the tempo slows a little bit as Japan with the 31-point advantage. Shuzi goes inside. Edwards, nice touch pass to the wing for the 3 is no good. Shea has it. What a pass. The cut had been much more positive. They had the layup going, but they missed the open 2. And Dremi has it. Into the half court. 5 to go in the game. And Japan have moved forward from their performance against China. And you've got to say Chinese Taipei have moved forward from their performance against China. Much improved performance. Shea is fouled on the way to the hoop. That's one. Shea will go, I think, to the free throw line. Be a disappointing Shea if he doesn't. Chinese Taipei will take the timeout. They trail this one 86-55. And this is where Coach Parker's building for the future. Assistant coach Che Lang Cheng takes the timeout. Looks like you'd be surprised now if they didn't come up with something press-like. Maybe they'll make its own trap coming out of this free throw situation. So Coach Lamas rings the changes as Hajima and Edwards lead the scorer, and Kanamura with that excellent number from the three-point line joins the top 3 scorers with 14 points. Well, they didn't give it shooting, so they're out of bounds. Chen moves it on. Gadiaga just about recovered. Tried very hard to turn it over then. Wu gets it to the corner. Gadiaga for three is no good. Defensive rebound will find its way to Tsuneyama. And Tsuneyama will advance the basketball. 4.5 to go in the game. Aki Chambers moves it on. That was a much better defense. Everybody stayed where they needed to stay. Stayed in the passing lane. They were force Naota Suji to make the play. He ended up with nothing as an option because everybody did a great job in the lane, forced them to take the poor shot. Lamas doesn't like the decision, rotates Suji out. Edwards takes a tough one deep on the shot clock, doesn't find any iron. And Chinese Taipei in the half court. Lang comes high, whistle on the play. Shuffle Lan. Edwards picks up personal. Japan switch on the screen and the handoff. And late in the shot clock, forces the turnover with the shot clock violation. Charles Parker, reflective. Tsuneyama will take the Edwards ball screen. Edwards will pop. Edwards out top, will pass and ball screen. Tsuneyama penetrates, open man, wide open in the corner for three is no good. Gadiaga comes down with a rebound. Great recovery. Defensive transition by Avi Safra was just excellent. Nice pass to the inside, drops it into Edwards for two is good. And again, transition basketball at its best. As Kazuki Takeuchi just drops the little bounce pass down to Edwards. Edwards gets the two, 33-point game, 2:50 to go. Gadiaga goes inside with a pass. Takeuchi will hunt down and Japan advance the basketball. Gonna get the transition ball screen and they'll reposition. Edwards in the block, going to work, feels the double team, nice pass, super seal. Takeuchi got his space and held it. Edwards just, all he had to do was create a lane, which he did. See, feels the double team, but look at the body position, look at the inside space that's created by Takeuchi. Edwards just had to be patient, so the pass was straightforward to make. Didn't have to make it over or through people. Just created an angle, dropped it inside. And they go big to big, get the two. And Chinese Taipei will take a timeout. They trail this one 95-55. Coach Parker will be looking for maybe end game situation here, but as importantly as anything else, he's going to lead that again, the timeout to assistant coach Cheng. This is where you have to as much as it's frustrating for coaches and players at times, but you have to look beyond the score. National team basketball is very much a process. You're going from tournament to tournament, especially if you're in the situation that Chinese Taipei is in, where they're building a new group. A lot of players in that young 20 age bracket, and it's really important for them to always be working, always be looking to improve, always be looking to take the program. You get very few opportunities as a group to play. So this is a great opportunity for Chinese Taipei, and they make the backdoor cut. The pass was there, but they poor pass, turn it over. Just has to put that ball between Wu and the basket, and it's a layup. So it's just a poor pass breakdown. 2 minutes remain for Japan. We'll be looking to top the 100-point mark. Inside, outside, great pass by Chambers. He had nowhere to go. Not the best decision of a pass. Shiniyama comes off the ball screen, gets his feet set for the long two, and just drains it. Nice execution, Japan. They looked inside, they explored the options, and they still end up with a shot they wanted. Wow. Gadiaga didn't want to explore some options, drained the three. 1:30 to go in the fourth. Tanaka. Chambers on the flare, gets the three away, and he joins that three-point party. And it really is trying to shoot it into the ocean for Japan. They have just been phenomenal from the three-point line. Off the glass for two is no good. Great work on the glass. Foul called. And Kosuke Takeuchi will go to the free throw line. Only Kosuke Takeuchi has not made a three for Japan in today's game. He's only taken one, which he missed, but in his 12 minutes of basketball, he's still come up with a positive efficiency rating, and this will be his 5th point. And he's made his free throws, so coming off the bench, he's really helped the cause. Inside the last minute, Chinese Taipei trying to prevent the 100 and trying to close the margin. I don't think they're going to do either. Inside, outside. Halimoto turns down the three. And Shiniyama with the basketball. We'll look at the ball screen. Takes the ball screen. Going to have to put this up. Harimoto can't get it to go. Defensive rebound by Morrison. He's fouled mid-court. And Japan have fouls to give, so smart foul by Kosuke Takeuchi. Open three from the corner, and that'll end on the positive note for Chinese Taipei. Japan are going to walk this one off, and a very professional performance by the Japan national team. Coach Lamas, after that tough timeout he took in the second quarter, will be happy with that one. 98-61. Japan get the win over Chinese Taipei and look good doing it. Statistically, 57% from the three-point line is good in anybody's language. Dominance on the glass, but that was always expected. 26 assists is something that always makes coaches particularly happy. Edwards had 21 here, G-Man had 15, and Kanemaru had 14. Chinese Taipei and their 61 points shared it out. Only one player in double digits, but everybody made a positive contribution. That is a much improved performance by Chinese Taipei. Let's take a look at some of the best actions of the second half. Second half dominated by Japan, especially in that third quarter, where they really took the game over. That period of 11, 12 minutes, the 4 minutes before the half and the 6 or 7 minutes in the third quarter. Just the gap between the teams just became huge, not just in points, but just in level. Japan just stepped up the level in that period, blew the game open. And a team that loves to share the basketball had the 26 assists across the game. And there's plenty of other passes that led to baskets that don't see in the assist column because of the dribble or however the player finished the play. But that period around the half was just exceptional. And Coach Lamas, after that timeout, where he really did explain to his team that there's a level that's expected and they weren't doing it, and they responded brilliantly. So coach does a great job, team has a great response. Morrison in particular, alongside most of his teammates, there's a little behind the back pass that was cute. Will be much happier with that performance than they were against the Chinese national team in the first game of this stage of the qualifiers. Only one player from Japan didn't make a three on tonight's game, Kazuki Takeuchi. But he's not supposed to be taking threes anyway. But this team lines it up, knocks it down. But Chinese Taipei, as we say, much, much better performance. That group of players that's going to be the core of this national team for a number of years to come will really benefit as a group from the way that they've responded from the opening game loss in this part of the qualifiers against China to do much, much better today. They've just got to play at that level for longer. Start of the game, they dug themselves a 14-point hole, and then in the third quarter early, it was just one-way traffic. But overall, super improved performance by both groups. Japan will obviously go through. We get to the finals of the Asia Cup. Chinese Taipei will have to make their way through that third place qualifiers group. So having seen that table, which confirms Japan moving up into the qualification spot. It's been a tremendous game here in the Philippines. We'll see you later for more action from this group. But for now, from the Philippines, it's goodbye.